Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here. So today coming at you with my updated DDD deck, which is super powerful, and I have a specific way that I built this deck to go into specific combos, and I'll show you. You'll see fairly quickly what we're trying to do with this deck. So yeah, stay tuned to more specifically see the extra deck because that has a lot of the key cards that we need. So yeah, let's get right into this profile, and I'll kind of briefly go over the combo at the end. But yeah, let's start off with your best normal summon, Savant Kepler. If it's normal or special summoned, you can just add a Dark Contract from your deck to your hand. That's pretty much the only effect you're ever going to use with him, but that alone, very good. And the fact that he's a level 1, I'll show you a really good card. But yeah, opening this, and I'll just show it to you now. Where Art Thou is crazy good. You basically should be able to do whatever you want at that point and get to our kind of specific combo with this deck. So yeah, 3 Kepler. Another really good normal summon, but I just want 2 of. I don't really need to see this too often, but it is nice to have. Copernicus, basically the main way you're going to use this is when you normal or special summon it, you can just send a DD card from your deck to the graveyard, which is amazing. Another really good pendulum is Ragnarok. Now this you'll actually use both its pendulum scale effect and its monster effect. Basically it's pendulum scale. If you special summon a DD monster, you can then target a DD monster in your graveyard and then special summon that. And then if this card is normal or special summoned, you can target a DDD in your graveyard and special summon it. So we have a few ways of obviously using his pendulum scale effect is not too difficult, and then using his other effect is easy as well with an extra deck card that we play. And then we're playing 2 Apocalypse. Now the main reason I'm playing this card, and especially at 2, is because it's level 7 and it's an easy summon. So basically you can banish 2 DD monsters from your graveyard and special summon this. Super easy. Also during your opponent's turn, if this is in your hand or graveyard, you can target 2 face-up spell and traps you control, and then you'll be able to destroy those and then special summon this card. So that is very cool. And then the last pendulum that we're playing, this is definitely not a pendulum deck, is Thomas, Savant Thomas. Basically the main way you're going to use this, or that I use, is its pendulum scale effect. You can just add a face-up DD pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. But then if you can get him on the field, you can target a DD card in your pendulum zone, destroy that card, and then you can special summon a level 8 DD monster from your deck, which is going to be your Ragnarok, which then you can get his effect off to special summon another one from the grave. So decent card. I definitely would not play it more than 2, but yeah, I think 2 is perfect. And then for some of the other DD monsters, the normal ones, the best one, or the most important one I guess you should say, is Lamia. This one is your level 1 tuner, so it allows you to easily go into obviously all of your synchro plays. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send a DD or Dark Contract from your hand or face upon the field of the graveyard, and then special summon this card. But basically, kind of what you want to do is get him to the graveyard, and then special summon it back with as many cards as you can, in your extra deck, and then use that effect last, because he is banished after you use that effect to special summon him. But yeah, very good card, very important card. And then one that we always want to see in our opening hand is Swirl Slime, because you can just fusion summon using this card and any other monster in your hand, send him to the graveyard, and then you can also banish this card from your graveyard and special summon any DD monster from your hand. So 2 amazing effects that you always use. Really, really good. Obviously, if you have like a Lamia in hand and this is in your graveyard, you can banish this and special summon that Lamia. That's a one easy way of getting Lamia out without using that effect until the last moment. And we're also playing 3 Necro Slime. Now this, opening these two, gets you 2 fusion summons basically, because you use Swirl Slime, send them both to the grave, and then you can use Necro Slime in the grave to fusion summon by banishing them from the graveyard, including this monster. So those are all super important cards that you always want to see. And that's all the DDDs we play. And then the last 2 cards we play is 1 Silent Boots and 1 Ancient Cloak. For a number of reasons. I mean, it's basically a dark deck, so getting to our Rusty Bardich is super easy. And then free negates. And then we also have another reason, which we'll get to, for playing these. So that's it for the monsters. For the spells, the best Dark Contract is Dark Contract with a Gate. Basically, you activate this, and then you can add a DD monster from your deck to your hand. Search any monster you need. And then we also play just the 1 Swamp King. These are standard, and they're always played in this ratio. Obviously, Dark Contract is really good. Swamp King is just another way of fusion summoning. You can use monster from your hand or field, and then it gets you just a free fusion summon. And then one of our best openers is Where Art Thou? If you control a level 1 monster, which you have at quite a few, you can add a level 1 monster from your deck to your hand. You'll take 2,000 damage if you didn't normal summon the monster, but that doesn't matter. You're searching any, and it's not once per turn, so if you open 2 and you have a level 1 on board, you can search 2 other level 1s. Really good. And then our best draw card, we don't want to play Pot of Desires in this version. I usually do in DDDs, because you just want to get to your key combo. But there's too many one-ofs in this deck that are super important. I'll show you what I mean when we get to them. But yeah, Allure of Darkness is your next best option, because basically all the monsters in our main deck are dark. So you should be able to get what you need with this card. And then we just play some super powerful one-ofs, 1-for-1, Foolish Burial, Monster Reborn, and then Called by the Grave are all super important for this deck. And basically, if you get off 1-for-1, you're sitting in a pretty good position. So, and then the last of the cards, we play a rank up Magic Launch and 2 Fogblade. That is kind of our Phantom Knights engine, because you have super easy access to Rusty Bardich. These cards just are free. So that is it for the main deck. You have to play it at 40 with all the key cards that you need. Yeah, definitely try to stay as close to 40 as you can. And then for the extra deck, playing the 1 Genghis. I know usually everyone plays 2. We're playing 1. Space is super tight in the extra deck. And so basically this card, you summon this out, and then if another DD monster is special summoned to your field, you can then target a DD in your graveyard and special summon it. So it just gets you another free summon. High King Genghis is going to be if another DD monster is normal special summoned to your field while you control this card, you can again target a DD monster in your graveyard and special summon it. But then it also has another effect where when a spell and trap or its effect is activated, you can just negate the activation with him. So that is super nice. And then we're playing the 1 Oracle King D'Arc. That is only to get a level 7 on board. I'll show you why we need to do that more specifically later. And then for our synchros, we play a Gust King Alexander. This kind of has the similar effect. It's a level 7, so that is super important. But then if another DD monster is normal or special summoned again, you can target a level 4 or lower DD monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And then our level 8 is Siegfried. He is going to negate a spell and trap. Another level 7 that we're playing is Odd Eyes Meteor Burst. This is really nice, for one, because it's a 7, And then when it is special summoned, you could target a card in your Pendulum Zone and special summon it. So say you have like your Ragnarok in there, you can then use Meteor Burst, special summon this, and then he can special summon one from grave. So super easy combo, really nice. Or if you need that level 7 Apocalypse, special summon him, and then you have a rank 7, which I'll explain later. And then our last level 8 synchro is Crystal Wing. You can play Borreload. This is just the one I went with for a monster negate. It's just kind of nice to have. And then we're also playing a Herald of the Arclight. It's another fairly easy one to get into. It's not your part of your main, goal of this deck, but it is definitely easy to get to, and I'll kind of explain that. Then we're playing an Odd Eyes Absolute. That's our rank 7 that you want to get into, because this will then be able to special summon out your Odd Eyes Rebellion. And that is key because of your rank up magic launch. You can then rank that Odd Eyes Rebellion up into a Kali Yuga on your opponent's turn. So that will just shut them off basically for the entire turn. Also, usually going second, if you can make the Odd Eyes Absolute. I like to go into the Vortex because when you special summon this, you can target a face-up attack position monster and return it to the hand. And then you also still get a really nice negate out of this. So usually going first, you want to get to Rebellion, if possible. And then otherwise, you'll go for the Vortex. And then I already explained the Kali Yuga. You can make it just straight up with 2 level 8 DD monsters. But usually you're going to rank up into it from the Rebellion on your opponent's turn. Because for the rest of the turn, other cards and their effects cannot be activated after this card is Xyz summoned. And then you can also detach one from this during either player's turn and destroy all spell and traps on the field. So that is very cool. And then our links, we got a Barricade Board Blocker, just kind of a generic dark monster that we can go into with Odd Eyes Absolute. And then that will help us then get into the Rusty Bardich, because you do need 2+ dark monsters. And then we also play the Cross Sheep, because in this deck, you'll make the Cross Sheep usually with Absolute and some other monster, and you'll be able to then special summon out your Vortex and then get a free summon from grave. So you get a free negate plus another summon. Cross Sheep is just kind of crazy. But yeah, that's the deck, guys. Let me quickly kind of explain the reasonings for a lot of these cards. Basically, your goal is to get 2 level 7s on the board, which you have a ton of ways of doing that. We'll say you get these 2 level 7s, and then you need 2 other dark monsters. So we'll say you have a Lamia and a Swirl Slime that you special summoned. So that's all you need, which, like I said, there's a number of ways of getting to this. You have your Pendulum monster that you could also summon. That's a level 7, so we'll say that. We'll say you have him out. So you have this. So first, you're going to make your Odd Eyes Absolute. And then you're going to then take, ideally, you can go into the, if you didn't use Lamia's effect that banishes it when it leaves the field, this board can be a little crazier. I will take these 2, get those to the grave, and we will summon out the Barricade Board Blocker. And then Odd Eyes Absolute is going to summon out the Odd Eyes Rebellion. And then from here, you can go with your Necro Slime, Barricade Board Blocker, and go into our Rusty Bardich. Rusty Bardich effect is going to then... Now this is where it kind of changes. So like I said, if you didn't use Lamia's effect, you definitely here at this position want to send the Ancient Cloak to the grave, and then set, your rank up magic launch. So you have that set, because then you can banish this Ancient Cloak, add the Silent Boots to hand, and then you have Lamia, which, again, you'll probably have to have a Dark Contract. So send that to the grave, special summon out that Lamia, and then you'll special summon out your Silent Boots because you control another Phantom Knights, and then you'll be able to go these two for Herald of the Arclight, and then you'll banish the Silent Boots to then set, or add a Fog Blade and then have a set Fog Blade. So then on your opponent's turn, you have a monster negate with the Fog Blade, and then you have a spell trap negate with Herald of the Arclight. So then at that point, whatever your opponent plays, negate it or whatever, and then you use the Phantom Knights to then summon Kali Yuga, and then attach this under there, and you have your Kali Yuga. That is other cards and their effects cannot be activated on the field, and then of course you have your Arclight if you need to, and then the Fog Blade. So that's just kind of the goal of the deck, is to get those 2 level 7s and then two dark monsters, basically, is all you need to do this combo. And it's a great deck. You can do a lot of different stuff with this, a lot of ways of ending. Obviously you can end with like a Siegfried, Crystal Wing very easily as well, or like I said, Odd Eyes Vortex is nice. So there's just a ton of options with this deck. Like I said, extra deck was tight. We had to cut our second Genghis, which I didn't really want to do. I don't even play a Gilgamesh. I didn't feel it was too necessary, because it does, the main problem, or actually the only problem with it, is that it restricts you for the rest of the turn after you summon him to only summon DD monsters, which usually after going into him, I want to go into everything but DD monsters, is what I found. So that's why I cut that card. I'm just kind of stuck with our key links here, to go into Rusty Bardich and then Cross Sheep. So that's the deck, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you try it out. It's honestly a super easy combo. And yeah, if you guys want to see more, let me know in the comments, and we'll catch you on the next one.